today. Welcome back to the Tap Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Goto, and we're here with another exciting episode. Whether you're a seasoned veteran or new to the world of gaming, we're glad to have you join us today. We have a special guest, Joe Vig. How's it going, Joe?
Good.
And our host, Joseph J Gannon.
What's up?
Cool. All right, let's jump right into it. Hey guys, so today was the PlayStation 5 showcase. They showed a bunch of games, a lot of games for PlayStation VR 2. Let's start with Joe. What were some of the things that like stuck out to you, and like any surprises that you might have picked up on?
Surprises, not that many. Most of the stuff that I saw and kind of at this point, we should be getting. So there wasn't that many surprises. I guess Snake Eater would definitely be one of those surprises. I wasn't expecting it, but I guess there were rumors of it. So it's like, wasn't sure if it was true or not. It's obviously true now, which is amazing. Everyone's very, very happy about that, I'm sure.
Hell yeah.
Definitely notable releases. Man, quite a few. What was the very first one? There was definitely that heist looking one. Looked like it could be very fun. Yeah.
Let's see. What that Snake Eater game, is it a Kojima game or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you mean to tell me you don't do Metal Gear?
So Metal Gear Solid 5 like threw me off. Like Metal Gear Solid 1 through 3.
We're not talking about 5. 5 is,
it's an outlier.
Yeah, no, we're talking about 1 through 4.
I just haven't heard any news. Like I don't think I saw the Snake Eater trailer on today's showcase.
Oh.
So like, what can you guys tell me about it?
Well, Snake Eater is probably, aside from 1, I would say Snake Eater is definitely probably the best one. And
I would concur with that.
And to get an updated version of it with like enhanced controls and enhanced graphics is literally like a gift from God to the Metal Gear Solid community, for sure.
Especially having Kojima directly involved with it.
Yeah.
That adds that extra print of like authenticity that fans really want.
Yeah. And I also hope they bring David Hayter back to play Snake.
Right. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
I don't want Kiefer Sutherland, man. Like, get out of my face.
Please.
Go back to 24.
We need OG. Like, I hope he's just been sitting there smoking cigarettes this entire time.
Exactly. Just that grisly like throat voice.
Just give him a full glass of whiskey and 3 packets of cigarettes and set him on fire, bro. This is gonna be a good game.
Yep, it's his baby.
Oh yeah.
Like, was it just a cutscene, or did they show any gameplay? Because I caught like the tail end of the showcase.
It was more of just like a trailer, like a big cutscene. We got no gameplay whatsoever, but all we got was that it's coming.
Yes, it is on its way,
and that's good enough for me.
Absolutely. I did also love the little like I want to call it like 007 like kind of song at the end. You know what I mean? Like where it was kind of it made it feel like it's a movie. It made it feel like it's one of those things. It's like, oh, this is going to be a spectacle,
Because that was the one where like you're a big boss, right? Actually, right. And then
it's when he earns the title.
Yeah, because it was like a prologue to like Metal Gear Solid, right?
Correct.
Damn, I don't
even because it's basically the way it goes in order is it's Metal Gear Solid 3, and then you got like 1, 2, and 4. But well, I guess you could say 5 after 3, but 5 isn't. It's not Big Boss. I forgot his name. It's a different Big Boss. Like it's a clone of Big Boss.
Liquid Snake?
No. Liquid Snake is the villain in 1 and 2 and 4.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, I mean, I liked the first 3 Metal Gear Solid games. All about it. Metal Gear Solid 4 and 5 are kind of weird. I don't
know. 4, you're basically playing a movie.
4, I mean, I think I liked it. I'm pretty sure there was like a part in Metal Gear Solid 4 where like Snake is like crawling through like a nuclear like chamber and he's like frying or something like that.
That's 4.
Is that 4? That was intense.
No, it's microwaves.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, you're crawling through and just getting cooked from the inside.
Yeah, I'm just like, come on, Snake.
Yeah,
crawl through that shit.
What was the action adventure game we were playing? I think it was like Raiden. It was like Revengeance.
Oh yeah, Revengeance.
Metal Gear Rising.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Rising.
But there was like another word that they like made up. You know, they make up those like Metal Gear like fake words.
Rising, Revengeance, or something.
Yeah, like they like to combine like 2 words to make it one like Metal Gear-esque word.
Yeah, I know. So good.
Oh man,
it's like subsistence.
Yes, subsistence. There you go. That's a perfect example of just like a word that doesn't exist, but it's a Metal Gear word.
Yeah, you know, I was like, oh, did you get that? Your vocab is so Metal Gear.
Yeah, I
know. Cool, man. Like, all right, Chris. Anything that stood out to you or any surprises?
Yeah, Resident Evil 4 VR. Or remake VR. So I've already played the original Resident Evil 4 in VR, and it transitioned so well. It hit every note that I wanted to with Resident Evil 4 because that's such a classic game. I haven't played the remake yet because I'm still playing Resident Evil 2 remake, but just seeing the Resident Evil 4 remake VR trailer, I would literally, I mean, aside from Metal Gear Solid 3, I'm now thinking of putting up the money to buy a PS5. And the PS VR 2.
You're a sick man if you can play Resident Evil in VR.
Oh, I can't. I love it. I love it, man. I love to be scared.
It would be cool. Like, I know, like
I enough jump scares playing it regular.
Yeah, bring it on.
I know, like everyone wants to play the VR, the Village one, where like there's like a giant vampire lady with the giant tits.
Yeah,
she's like in like a little bit of the game though, isn't she?
She's coming up and like
I have no idea.
Your hand and shit.
Right? Yeah, I'm like, this Resident Evil game is so weird. If you say so.
Yeah.
People are like,
have a taste.
People are like, mommy.
Wow, this haptic feedback is next level.
Yeah. Whoa. Man, I'm really excited for the Bungie stuff, dude. They announced it's not a new IP because Marathon was a PC game back in the day. Like, I think it was pretty cutting. It was like before Halo, and it was like a Doom kind of like
clone?
A Doom clone. It was like a Doom clone, yeah. But I thought they had like way better graphics and stuff for the games back, and everything was kind of like 2D-ish still, you know. It's like a first-person shooter, but now like I don't know, it looks I mean completely different from what I remember, but it looks cool. I can't wait for Bungie's new stuff. I wanted to see what else they can do besides Destiny 2 and Halo. Yeah, there's not too many other IPs that they're currently doing right now.
Low-key reading that Bungie was going to be in it, I was kind of hoping for maybe like a Destiny 3.
Me too. I thought Marathon was going to be Destiny 3, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I was like, oh, this is probably Destiny, and then they showed it was Marathon. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
There was reports saying that PlayStation is they're gonna 60% of their like revenue is going to be from live service games, like in the coming years.
I can imagine.
So that's pretty crazy.
I mean, in the next 10 years, it's all going to move to that anyways.
Yeah,
it's just getting to that point, dude. Where
I mean, honestly, I'm so concerned for Microsoft and for Xbox. I'm not concerned for Microsoft, but for Xbox, man, I don't know. I don't know if Starfield can save them because PlayStation has all the bangers, dude. All the single player like stories, all the exclusives, and now they have Bungie, and Bungie's like gonna be handling all the live service stuff. Like, man, they're gonna their pie chart is gonna be looking real good.
Yeah, it's like, you know, because Xbox has the super easy to pick up and play with friends, but PlayStation has like the substance.
Yeah.
content. Like it's because it's like almost anything you can play on Xbox, you can play on PlayStation.
Right.
But it's a little more, I would say
Well,
it's just slightly more challenging. It's like using an Apple to an Android, right?
exactly.
PlayStation is an Android.
Yeah, it's the way I see it is that the PlayStation is all about immersive experiences,
I agree.
you know, but I mean, it's still very capable of, big communities of multiplayer games, which it definitely has. Um, and yeah, what I think that, and they just integrated Discord and all that stuff. So I don't know. I think their multiplayer stuff is really uh is getting better, and they always have those single player exclusives. So
right.
yeah, they have. Yeah,
They're the
scared.
king. They're the king of they're the king of those exclusives, man. Seriously.
Yeah, it just sucks because man, when Halo came out, I was like, Xbox is gonna be the next king, dude. I was like, Halo is gonna be is gonna drive this console. Everyone's gonna want to play Halo. All those LAN parties that we used to do, and you know what? I feel like they just went away from that, unfortunately. So
yeah, I mean,
they got greedy.
Yeah, absolutely. They did really well during the 360 era, and
yeah, they did.
when PlayStation was kind of shit in the bed, and it just they weren't able to create the exact same experience for the following generation. And now this newest generation, it's like they're relevant, but they're just kind of, you can watch them like progressively fall behind as like each year passes, and new things are just not being developed for them. And in the same way that we're seeing stuff come out for Nintendo and PlayStation, it's just absolutely bone dry in the Microsoft department.
Yeah,
man. Yeah, so sad.
You know what the problem was? Is they acquired? Didn't they? They acquired Blizzard? Didn't they?
Yes, or there was some sort of like takeover or something like that.
The problem is they probably listen to those guys. You want to listen to Blizzard, you're gonna lose.
Yeah, you're gonna create the same IPs for the next 20, 30 years, and
yeah,
there's definitely people that still play WoW. I have a lot of friends that play WoW still, and I know a lot of people that are very excited about Diablo 4. In addition to playing Diablo 2 Remake, but it's just like they're games you've played already.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that PlayStation Portable thing? You see it?
If that's real and if they don't do it dirty like the Vita, I am so excited.
Project Q. I think they called it Project Q.
Can you imagine having that shit in your backpack or something wherever you're at?
Oh. I can't have them doing it dirty like the Vita though.
I know
everything.
The Vita
it's
was
all
such
Wi-Fi.
a promising thing,
right? Because you're basically remote playing from anywhere. I think that's the gist of it, right?
Yeah.
Imagine I want to say I will have like 70 plus PlayStation games that would transfer over to that portable.
Right.
I buy that machine and I have an instant library. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to get a Steam Deck, is because I've been collecting games on Steam for years.
Oh, I know, dude.
And you get a Steam Deck and you're like, I have an instant library. And that's one of the best things about getting a system, is not having to be like, I bought a system and now I got to shell out, maybe like 60 to 120 bucks to get a game or two to start yourself off. You already are ready to go.
Okay, so real quick, how much do you think your Steam library is worth?
Not very much, but to me personally, it's worth a lot.
Right. Yeah. So I did mine about 3 months ago, and games, like, of course they fluctuate in price and everything like that. Now, I did them all and it came out to like, I don't know, $5,300.
Yeah.
Worth of games.
Yeah, that's about like what my PlayStation library is worth.
But here's the thing: is they're all like chalked up to like small prices, right? They're not counting for the fact that I paid full price at a specific time, so it's definitely more.
Yeah, I definitely do my diligence of like kind of buying them at certain times, buying them when they go on sale.
Winter sale, baby.
The winter sale is
the winter sale.
Yeah, and I mean, I get games that I don't even need. I bought another version of Nier. I love that game,
Yes.
and I'm like, "Hey, what? It's $20. I can't say no."
I know. I do it too. My wife's like, Why'd you buy that if you're not going to play it?" I'm like, "Well, someday I'll want to."
Sure, absolutely.
when
And
the
I would
mood
love to.
strikes.
I would love to have access to play on my computer on the go while I'm on a freaking plane ride to the, Bermuda, Jamaica. Oh, I want to take you.
One thing I would say it's hard though is I think this PlayStation thing, it might. I hope you're able to download your games onto it, because if it has to do with streaming, that might be an issue.
That's a break for me. If it's a streaming thing,
Yeah.
no. I need to be able to have those games hard fixed onto my console. One thing I just recently found out about the Switch is that there are certain games that after a couple hours it'll go through and authenticate, and despite you having them downloaded, you won't have access to them.
That's correct.
Like,
Yeah,
you do not have access to Wi-Fi.
I've had that happen to me a couple times actually.
Yeah,
and
I wasn't very happy about that.
Well, it's like you're playing and then all of a sudden you're like, crap, now you got to hook up to your hotspot or whatever just to, to authenticate it to keep playing. Like, that's kind of a pain.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, authenticate it when I download this thing and let that be that, because
like I paid for it. Get off my nuts.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's like when you pay for a game, the wall needs to come down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nintendo's always been about that though too.
Yeah,
they're very protective of their stuff.
Yeah, oh yeah. No, they'll and they go after like old IPs that are just irrelevant as well. So it's just that they have their petty levels very low. So yeah, makes sense.
Oh man, are you guys ready for Spider-Man?
Dude, I loved the first one, and now being able to be Spider-Man in the Venom suit, give me that, dude.
And Venom is like one of the best. Like,
I know, man.
Anti-hero-esque, whatever, just one of the best.
And I know the movie scored bad, but I loved it.
I like the very first one. I thought it was done really well, and despite me not being a big fan of what's his name, the dude that they chose to do him,
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy. I thought he did a great job. So
yeah. Oh man, that makes me sad because he's actually my favorite actor. But just being able to use the Venom suit properly, that sold me. And plus seeing the huge action sequence, it reminds me of like those crazy chase scenes from Uncharted.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's one of those things where like, your butthole's clenched and you're like up against the seat and you're just going for it. Like, I love that stuff, dude. I love it.
Did you play? Did Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man, come out on PlayStation 4?
Which Spider-Man are you talking about?
The sequel to the one that's coming out.
No. I think it maybe PS4 or early PS5. So I didn't play it until it came over to the PC. So I got it on the PC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it wasn't exclusive. And then, occasionally they'll take an exclusive and throw it onto Steam. And that's when I'll usually play it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played the original. I waited to play Spider-Man until I was able to get a PlayStation 5. Mm-hmm. And dude, it blew me away, man. Just like swinging through the city is like amazing, bro.
Did you play the Miles Morales that one, and then you can play both of them essentially?
Yeah, I bought the pack, but nice. But I haven't actually played the Miles Morales one.
Oh, okay.
But it literally, like, playing this one, right, the first Spider-Man brought me back to like playing Spider-Man 2 on PS2. They had nailed the swinging mechanics, and I was like, this game is so good. I don't even have to fight people. Just swinging around makes me feel perfect with Spider-Man.
Yeah, playing a Spider-Man game is all about like, does this actually make me feel like Spider-Man? And you have to get the swinging mechanics. Swinging around the city is probably like one of the most like iconic things that Spider-Man does. So getting that kind of stuff down and just man, they definitely nailed it from an early.
But dude, look at this with the Venom suit. How he's just I mean, it's got the same mechanics from the first one. It just adds that extra touch with the Venom suit.
Absolutely.
It's nice. He's got like a little symbiote shield and everything. Oh my god!
Just the way his like arm like transmorphs into like other things to like come
it's
out.
Beautiful.
And it's just, I mean, that's just right there. Bam.
Yeah, this is essentially a One Piece game.
Yeah, they've literally taken kind of like the same thing from the Batman Arkham series, and then they've just improved upon it and gave it like its own for Spider-Man. And it slaps.
Did Insomniac make Batman games?
No, it's Rocksteady.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but it's the same. It's the same kind of system. Same kind of like
So, but Rocksteady, I believe, was the first group to do that type of battle system. But it's so good. So many games have borrowed from it, and there's no need to like fix it.
Like squirrel suit-esque like kind of fly right here.
I know, and you catch the little wind tunnel.
Yeah, that's
what the heck.
Yeah,
he doesn't even need to swing anymore. Fuck it.
The color scheme there reminds me of the Batman Beyond.
Oh, dude! Don't even get me started on Batman Beyond.
That's just a hidden gem right there. It's just great Batman.
If they need to make a Batman movie, they just need to do that.
I low key would love if Rocksteady did a Batman Beyond game.
Oh my god, that would be sick. That would pull me back into it because, like I said before, I'm not a huge Batman fan, but I loved Batman Beyond.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, the cyberpunk like post thing with and a little bit of hint of like the old school Batman, because he's like kind of like
yeah. And then they ended it all with Return of the Joker.
It was so dark too, man. I'm just like, oh man.
Yeah, I know. Mark Hamill literally comes back to play the Joker. Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
he is the Joker.
I know. And it's such a bummer that, rest in peace, Mr. Kevin Conroy is gone, So I'm wondering, from here on out, if they make more Batman games or more shows, who's going to take the mantle?
Rest in peace.
Seriously. But this Spider-Man game, I will definitely play the shit out of it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Any Spider-Man game gets an immediate buy, if not immediately at some point.
So, but I mean, I know with not this generation, but last generation, and like PS3, PS4, all that, and Xbox 360, I played none of the Spider-Man games because they just did not look good. And then when I first saw this one and I saw the gameplay, or the one before this, I was like, okay, now Spider-Man is I feel like is actually going to be worth my time, because they made and it all comes back to just the core gameplay, the swinging, because a lot of Spider-Man stuff is travel from here to there.
Yeah,
and
that's part of the game.
And then you get into stuff, right? Like you play all those other Spider-Man games that are on like 360 and PS3. It almost feels like a chore, right?
Yeah, it's like it's so linear, but that it's coming next, but you're just like, oh man, I gotta get all the way over here and do this like stupid little thing to collect this stupid little thing to beat this stupid guy that takes like absolutely just eating your punches.
Yeah, but in these ones, you're swinging, you're having fun, you're doing fucking tricks in the air, like
that parkour and
dude, that is so sick. Like I didn't find myself get bored one time, and they nailed it.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I can't wait, man. I'm looking forward to the Miles Morales movie too.
Right.
The Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2.
Oh, yeah. The first one was really good.
That's gonna be.
And then they're just kind of, giving the first movie a steroid shot and throwing it out there.
that one scene in the trailer where it's like looking for Spider-Man and they're like pointing.
They're like, you?
Yeah, the Spider-Man meme.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Dude, I was dying.
Yeah, it was good.
So good. Okay, all right, you guys. So really excited for what's coming up for PlayStation, Metal Gear Solid, the Bungie stuff, the VR, PSVR 2 stuff. Yeah, excited for that. So, all right, our next topic for today is we're gonna get into JRPGs, guys.
All right.
I don't I don't know about you, but I'm a huge fan of anime, so this translates so well to JRPGs, and it's AAPI month, so we're gonna kind of do a little respect for our Eastern um, brothers and sisters over there with the JRPGs. So first thing we want to do is kind of like talk about what are some tropes, common tropes that we have in JRPGs that kind of define the genre, like teenage heroes, party system, turn-based combat, super epic quests, linear storytelling. There's so many stuff, so much stuff. But yeah, so let's kick it over to Chris. What about JRPGs, like what do you think are some things that really define that genre to you?
Well, first thing I would say, obviously for every single genre, gameplay is always going to be number one for me. Second for JRPGs will be story, and third will be characters, because I know a lot of people do this. I do it myself, but for example, when you're in a JRPG and you have a group, you find that one character that you kind of relate with, so you're kind of projecting yourself onto him, and you're kind of like, yeah, this is me, or he has these qualities, so I want him to succeed. For me, I think ultimately will be relatability with what's going on. Is it are we doing some? Is it a story about oppression, or is it a story about fulfillment? It's those things for me that make a great JRPG.
Cool. I agree with everything you just said there. Joe, what are some common? I think you're self-proclaimed resident experts for our JRPGs out there. So, what kind of tropes that you can you spot in the JRPG genre?
Um, I would say JRPGs would definitely have certain tropes like random battle occurrences would be one of them. Storyline would definitely like a heavy emphasis on storyline versus maybe potentially like doing like a Western one where you're more focused on developing your own character. Um, and a JRPG, you would be more watching like a group of characters or a character defined for you that you're kind of omnisciently like living and watching them grow and watching all the characters around them grow and watching the plot develop around them. Certain other things would be multiple side like quests that you can do that would potentially be optional. Heavy emphasis on like Easter eggs, like especially if you're a big anime fan, and there are plenty like really big anime based JRPGs. Sword Art Online would be another one I would think of that comes to like the top of my head. It's like you're already very familiar with those characters, which is something that is going to bring a lot of players in initially, and that's something you don't have to think about. You're like, oh wow, cool! Like I already know these characters. I may not know how the story is going to progress, but I have an idea of them, and so that's something that's very common in like a JRPG.
Yeah, you have the attachment already.
Exactly, absolutely. Yeah. The initial like draw for you is already there. Something that you would see like in a Western RPG that would be a little different would be like you create a character, like you show what their face exactly looks like, their eyebrows, you choose their hair, you sit and you like when you're playing like Bloodborne or something like that, you're sitting there, you're choosing an outfit. When you're playing a JRPG, your character is there, they're giving you a backstory of potentially like to help you understand, but this stuff is already kind of laid out for you, and you're already expecting this going into a JRPG.
Ryan, where'd you find this guy? He's dropping bangers. Bloodborne?
I'm telling you, man.
He's dropping bangers.
That's why I had to have him on the show, dude. But yeah, I mean, I think for me is that I'm such a huge fan of anime, and for me, JRPGs are my chance to be a part of the story.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
and the characters that surround you in those games are so supportive. If that makes sense, like
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Like a Dragon, Yakuza Like a Dragon is a turn-based game which is different from
Mm-hmm.
the rest of the Yakuza games, and it took a lot of inspiration from Dragon Quest, right?
Yeah, Dragon Quest.
Dragon
Mm-hmm.
Quest, yeah, which is like a very Japanese RPG.
The Japanese RPG.
Yeah, so I mean, like even in the game, you know, the main character will reference so many because it's like his favorite game. In so like the way that the game kind of makes this logic is that because you'll like turn into like a superhero when you fight, and it's like you're becoming like a character from that game because that's
Yeah.
like his favorite game. So his psyche is like turning him into like a character from that game. So he gets like when he goes into a fight, he used to have a suit, and then he gets on like this armor and like a sword and stuff. It's hilarious. And then um I that game is so much fun, and then at the end of the game it's just like all about friendship and supporting your teammates and stuff like that, and it just makes you feel so good. And that's what I love about JRPGs, because you're like part of like you're like friends with these people who like you just
Yeah.
want to like see like
Yeah.
in these good great situations.
Yeah, it's like watching a good anime, and like when it's all done and like, you know, everything's been said and all the kind of the plot holes have been like filled in, you're like, man, like that was a great ride. Like I
Yeah.
love you guys. This is great.
Yeah,
This is my
exactly.
team right here. Like, you
Yeah.
know, like if I were to boot up the game afterwards and there was like a post thing, I'd just be like, man, that was a great ride, guys. That was good,
Mm-hmm.
good stuff.
It's that nice little dopamine hit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just right.
Yeah, like when you finish a really good JRPG, there's like a hole. Right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I feel
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Agreed.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
It's like,
Persona 5, when I finished that one, about 105 hours after, you know, going through all that stuff, doing as many things as I could do. Once I figured that the game was coming to an end, I was like, oh God, like I started being like, okay, what can I cram into the last little bit of days here before I finish up?
Yeah.
Because I've been caught off guard. When I played the Nier for the very first time, I legitimately like gasped at the last boss. I was like, no, there's so many side quests I just did not finish, and I am so upset that I didn't have the time to do that because I didn't know it was coming up.
Yeah.
Dude, the Nier Automata, so the anime is so good, man.
Dude,
oh my God, it's really unbelievable.
There's not been many times where I've been like, okay, like, you know, they did a really good job at Justice. I like it just as much, and it's a perfect like it accompanies the game so well. Like if you've played the game and you don't have the time to sit through and play like, what is it, like 5 different endings that it has, it's a perfect side accompaniment to like understanding the story, understanding certain drives of the main characters.
It's a good companion.
Companion, there you go. That's the word I was searching for. And it's one of those things that if you're a really big fan of like that kind of world, it builds on that world, and it sits just right.
Nice.
Yeah. One thing I really love about JRPGs is the art style, dude. It like just blows me away sometimes, the sense of wonder that like it makes you feel when they're doing like the special attack and stuff like that. You just like you feel so powerful.
I know.
Like there's so many like swirling energy like around, and then you just like unleash this like awesome attack.
Yeah. And remember, they have to call it out before they do it.
Of course. Otherwise,
Absolutely.
it's not as effective.
If they're not saying anything, does it even happen?
Yeah, and it just bounces off of them. It just doesn't even work.
Yeah. So okay. So Ryan, I know you're an anime and a JRPG fan, so you need to play One Piece Odyssey then.
Okay. It's on my
so it's worth
list.
playing. I also have not played that, so
It's a turn-based one-piece RPG.
hey,
You know,
okay.
it was on my list, but
Yeah,
people
I
are
think
gonna
you'll like it.
people are gonna hate me because I watch everything dubbed.
I do too. No, I do
So
too. And if it's good, I'll rewatch it subbed.
Yeah,
okay,
it depends on which ones they are. There's certain ones I have to watch English. Like, I mean, if I'm watching classic anime, I for some reason, like for Cowboy Bebop, I mean, like, do you watch that in Japanese? I don't know.
No,
Like, no, because
no.
like the English dub at that point was so good, and the characters, I just have a, I don't know,
Connection.
watching it, yeah, a connection. Watching it live on Adult Swim and stuff like that back in the day. And oh man, it's just
On Toonami.
yeah,
oh,
Toonami, and
Toonami.
watching it in any other way would be kind of I don't know. I feel I wouldn't have the same connection with it.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I really love the English voice actors, and the fact that they're in so many animes that I watch. I'm like, oh,
Yes,
it's
Yeah, you see them
Frankie.
kind of like overlap into other characters.
I
You're like,
know.
oh, that's this person. That's this person.
absolutely. I will Spike the
Oh
lead
yeah,
in Cowboy Bebop was the
Yeah.
voice of Tom in for Toonami.
yeah.
And
So
he's
cool.
also Wolverine and like all
Yeah,
those other yeah.
among others. Yeah,
Steve
absolutely.
Bloom.
Yeah, amazing voice actor, and it just it's just great when you get those like voice actors that you can all of a sudden like they start saying stuff and as another character, and you're like, hey, like I feel like I've already like got this familiarity with them as well. Because
Yeah, you
I
just
think
kind of like pick it up.
he also did Samurai Champloo as well, right? One of the main characters.
So good. So
Yeah.
good.
So
I love it. I love it when I like accidentally watch an anime and like I hear a voice actor from another anime. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's
I,
Izuku Midoriya from My Hero Academia. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
what is it? What's the main Asuka from Sword Art Online? She's
Asuna.
Oh, yeah, Asuna.
sorry, Asuna. She
Yeah,
is the
that's
voice
wifey material right there.
whoever does her voice. She does a lot of voice acting for video games. She's in 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim as
That's
one of the main
right.
characters. And there's another one I was just
But
playing. I was like, totally recognize her as a side little character in the background. I was like, wow, okay,
Yeah.
that was totally Asuna.
have you? Let's pause right there because you brought up 13 Sentinels, which is like a pretty awesome game, but it's like it's so niche.
It's niche. It's niche.
Have you played 13 Sentinels, Chris?
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, what about those kinds of games like really like capture like your imagination? Because like that game is like very very. I feel like there's so many tropes in that game that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because the inspiration that they're pulling on it is already a trope.
Yeah, it's super pretty.
Absolutely, yeah.
The art.
That's
style.
where I was like, this game is so pretty. Where I just like I want to move forward.
So I pulled up like some common tropes and stuff, and 13 Sentinels hit amnesiac characters, like characters. It's okay. People don't remember shit. Yeah, people don't remember anything, right?
Yeah, multiple characters that don't remember anything.
It's a science fiction with giant mechs. Very, and then there's like storylines that involve like a grand world-saving quest, and it's turn-based. Well, it's not turn-based. It's like real-time strategy type thing, which was fun. I felt like, if I was on like shrooms or something, that shit would have been real crazy.
Dude, yo, I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you, man, like, don't ever play anything violent when you're on mushrooms. I took some shrooms and tried to play Red Dead Redemption 2, and I got in a shootout, dude. I lost my fucking mind.
Hiding behind the couch and shit.
Yo, dude, no, like I'm in the game, but I'm feeling everything that's going on within the scene. Like every bullet that whizzes by, like I literally like bullets are coming out of the television, dude. I'm like,
oh wow,
you know.
Man, I kind of.
I'm gonna concur with Chris and and say don't do it, because I also played Gears of War on shrooms, and there was a part where when you're doing the battle with the two
chainsaw clash.
The chainsaws. I'm button mashing this chainsaw clash, and I watch the chainsaw, go through the freaking body, and I think at that point I was pretty close to puking because it just felt so real.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's all emotional.
Video games are not supposed to feel that real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's if that's if you're bored of video games and you want to take it to the next level. Try that and see where that gets you.
Yeah, it was just a friendly horde game. All of a sudden, I started battling and button mashing, and
that's for your life.
Life went real rough real quick.
He's like, I'm gonna die.
There's locusts everywhere. That's great.
Getting that perfect active reload.
Oh my god. Okay, so that's pretty much JRPGs in a nutshell. So hey Joe, tell me about a JRPG that captivated you for the first time.
A JRPG that captivated me for the first time. I'm gonna have to actually say this. Yeah, I'm gonna say Final Fantasy VIII, and I'm gonna say 8 because it is the first one that I played through all the way through without stopping. I played 7 probably 4 or 5 times. Played the original 7 4 or 5 times, and I finished it only twice. I have like multiple like save
only twice.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where I had it on a certain like system.
Final Fantasy 8 was sick.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Oh,
did you collect all the chocobo eggs in the 7th one?
I think we lost Joe.
Nah, man, he's just thinking.
Oh, there he is.
Hey,
yeah, we're back.
Yeah.
Hey, all right, go.
I was gonna say, can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
In the 7th, in Final Fantasy 7, did you get all the chocobo eggs?
I did not get all the chocobo eggs.
I didn't either, dude. That shit's impossible.
You know what I did get in one of them though? All of the there were like little soldier tokens that you get.
Oh yeah.
They're like little like statues, soldier statues. There was one of them that I was actually able to do it. I looked through my inventory and I started like scrolling through. I'm like, what the hell? I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't remember how many it is. It's like 27 or maybe more or less. And I was like, oh, dude, I have all of them. Or maybe I got like extremely like close to getting all of them, and I ended up just kind of like looking at a map and looking at a little like guide through book and being like, oh, like I'm actually very close to like being able to still getting all of them. So I ended up getting all of them, and not that you get an actual like little like achievement quest, but it was just like one of those nice little things. I was like, this felt good.
Achievements before they were achievements.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's where you could like flex on your boy with your little save data. You're like, check this shit out.
Absolutely.
Like I got all this. They're like, what?
There's actually really cool Easter eggs. If you were able to show it to, you could actually flex on people with a PlayStation 2 memory card. There were certain save datas that if you got certain parts of the game, the little like emotion, I want to call them emoticons, I guess, but they would like move like in the little memory card area.
Oh, that's right.
They would do different things if you like beat a game or if you did certain things in a game. The icons would change.
Yeah, because I remember that each save block had their own little like specific icon. Like one would have a character.
Exactly.
You play GTA San Andreas, and you'd have the little like floppy disk.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
No, I get it.
Yeah, that kind of thing would change depending on how far you got in the game sometimes. So
yeah.
I love Final Fantasy VIII.
That's one of the best, dude. It's so good.
The sword gun things were sick.
Yeah, so going back to that, Final Fantasy VIII would be a game that I chose because I finished it all the way through, and it was a game that I legitimately was like, wow, like this story is like really hitting me. Yeah, there's definitely like that meme of like like kind of Squall as kind of a trash character as far as like he has no personality and stuff like that. But I kind of thought I never put too much thought into Squall.
Yeah.
I always thought about everybody else in the storyline.
That game slaps, dude. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, the parts also too, like where you fall asleep in the train and you wake up and you're as the other party, the Laguna and stuff like that. I mean, it was so good. I mean, those are the parts that I was just like, this is just really giving you so much to think about as a player. The super convoluted junction uh, mechanic that they had in the game as well. That make you sit through these forced tutorials of like 10 hours of like all this stuff. But once you really sat through and understood everything, you could get so self customized on like every single like little like piece of gear that you have, or all of the little what do they call it, the special abilities that you would obtain throughout the game
using the MP.
Yeah, the MP and stuff like that. So the customization in that game and the developing storyline as it goes through, it's so good.
You're basically creating builds.
Yeah.
Like as far as customization goes, it's like, oh well, this will help this will help that, and then
exactly, yeah, certain scenarios and stuff like that, and you'll remember them as it goes on, and it seems so convoluted as you're doing it, but like you have so much time with the game. That's the best part about these games.
And and the other thing too is having the time to play them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Man, with Final Fantasy, like, dude, when I was 11 or 12, a weekend, I would spend 48 hours straight on them.
Yeah, I beat this game in a whole spring break.
So you were motoring.
Bro, I told my whole family, I was like, just don't, if you come in and I just look like trash, it's because I haven't been sleeping, and I want to finish this game because I don't think I'm gonna have very much time after this to try to finish this.
Put my dinner at the door and fuck off.
Yeah, just like do the little 3 knock and I get it.
Yeah.
All right. So, Chris, what was a JRPG that initially got you into the genre?
So what initially got me hooked, I've said it before and I'll say it again, Super Mario RPG on SNES.
Oh man, love it.
Super simple, but super fun. Good story, great characters, and all around, man. I love that game, and to this day, every 3 to 5 years, I run through it. I love it. It's just that I grew up big Mario fan, and then getting to play Mario in his own JRPG was it was a gift to me. I picked it up randomly one day at Hollywood Video before
I used to
rental places
Hollywood Video as well.
Before rental places went out, I was like, oh, there's a new Mario game, but this is an RPG. I didn't even know what RPG meant at the time. And then I started playing, and I was like, oh, so like you have to, so it's like you take everyone takes turns, so it's like a board game kind of thing. And then I got further into it, and I was like, oh, I started to like all the pieces started to connect. Where I was like, oh, I have to level this up, but I have to make my weapons better, and that's what made me fall in love with JRPGs, and eventually led me to like Paper Mario and the Final Fantasy series and all of that. And I realized it was like a whole genre in of itself.
I had no idea. I had no idea this even existed.
You've never played this game?
No, I had no idea this even existed.
Paper Mario is the sole
successor.
Sole successor of this game, because they obviously they couldn't pair up with Square forever. So after that, they wanted to continue on because they did. After this, they realized, oh wow, there's an audience for people that want to play a Mario style RPG, and that's when they continued on with Paper Mario.
Yeah, because Mario's already got that great, thriving, livable world, and then they throw it, and then they throw an RPG on top of it with like a great story. Because like you can, this is what I really love about JRPGs is when you're in a town and you can actually stop and talk to people, and you hear about like their problems, or you hear, like they've just done something cool. That's what I love about it is it feels livable.
Yeah, absolutely. this world is already a world that we're very familiar with, and just like getting to see more hijinks that happen in this world are just happen. I mean, you get to play as Bowser, right? I mean,
he's a teammate.
Yeah, he's
Wait,
a teammate.
what?
He's a playable. Yeah, you play a. Sorry, spoiler alert for anybody that hasn't played. You eventually,
it's been like 30 years. I think
you do eventually get to have Bowser as your teammate.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's so cool. You played this too, Joe?
Oh yeah, I love this game.
Oh shit.
Great.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Wait, what was it on? I don't even remember.
Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo?
See, I didn't play it until much after the fact when I started emulating games, and I looked up, it's like, oh, top games on the Super Nintendo, and I was
I still do that.
Yeah, and it's crazy because it's like this is the top, like honestly, besides Chrono Trigger and maybe Secret of Mana or anything like that, this is probably the top pick that comes up, and it's like, wait. There's a game where you can play an RPG with Mario as the main character.
Oh my
Sign
God.
me up.
I didn't even know. That's crazy.
Yeah, I recommend, Ryan. Like, I mean, you could probably burn through it in about like 3 to 4 days. But it's super simple, but it's just fun, man.
Call me when they make a remake, dude. I'm about it.
So there's actually a guy who's been doing a fan remake by himself. And he kept with the initial or the original artwork and everything. So like if you see the cover of the game, they look a little blocky and everything like that. He kept that art style in mind, and he did like a couple of little scenes in like one little area, and it looked really cool. Like I'd pay $60 for it. I don't care.
Nintendo, make this.
Give me
reboot.
Free stuff.
Give me free stuff.
If you can find a way
Yeah.
to work with Square again and make a remake of that, we would.
If you could find it in your hearts to just stop being mean and do it,
that would be. That would
really
sell,
appreciate
dude.
that.
I really think that would sell.
Like I said, I don't care. $60. I've already played it. I'll buy it again.
Or just
I'm crazy.
Put the original one up on the Super Nintendo, Nintendo Online.
Yeah.
And a lot of people would be very happy with that.
So the only reason I bought an SNES Classic was because it had that game.
Yeah.
But then I also found out that you could mod the SNES Classic and put your own games on it, so that's what made it even better.
Absolutely. And replaying games like that, you're just like, you can see where all the elements of the stuff that you play now comes from, in addition to it holds up so well still.
It does.
That's crazy.
Really does. Like a lot of people now, they'll you talk to people from the new generation. They're like, "Oh, do you play this? Do you play that?" It's like, well, no, because I've already played that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Where it's like if you really want to play this game, play this one. Yeah, it's not going to look as nice, but it's going to play a lot better than this. I feel sometimes.
Yeah, it's essentially the same game, and it's taken all the elements. They couldn't quite find a way to, replicate it the same way, and so you're still getting some of the flavor from it, but the essence of all of that stuff this is where it comes from.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's like when you watch a movie and you see what inspiration they pulled from like back in the day, and you watch the original, you're like, oh, I see what they got, and this is actually better. Yeah. Or you see the inspiration.
Man, I can't wait to show you guys the game that got me into JRPGs. You ready? I don't know.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Let's hear it.
It is. Wait for it. The Legend of Dragoon.
Are you serious?
Oh, no way.
Yo, I fuck with this game, dude. This game's good.
Bro,
to be totally honest, I didn't know you had a PlayStation.
This game, oh yeah. I had a PlayStation.
Yeah. This was supposed to be the Final Fantasy VII killer right here.
Mm-hmm.
This is billed as like the four disc. This is gonna beat Final Fantasy VII. It's gonna put it to shame. Suck on this.
Slaps, bro.
Eat my, eat everything. Squaresoft. This is a great one. It didn't end up living maybe to the full hype, but it's definitely a sleeper hit and worth playing.
Oh my god, this brings me back, bro. I played this game so many times, dude.
I know.
It was so cool.
Trailer. Yeah, look at those beautiful cutscenes.
Man, they just don't make cutscenes like this anymore.
I know. Nobody
Literally.
talks. It's just it's literally like you just have to visually figure it out.
That wasn't necessarily a bad thing, but
I know.
they just don't make cutscenes like this.
It's like playing the old Final Fantasy games when you just see everyone like looking at each other with a shocked face.
So like, I don't know, it was so cool. You get to like, when you power up, you like, I'm trying to get to the gameplay.
Yeah, dude.
When you power up, you like turn into a
like
dragon.
Final Fantasy 7.
Oh yeah.
Oh, but better. I mean, if I want to, compare.
I mean, I love Final Fantasy 7. I would say that's up there with this.
Those blocky arms and legs.
Oh yeah, baby. Just yeah, you can. Just,
it's so good.
You can cut diamonds with those edges.
Yeah. So and then you like power up, and then you all this armor would like get on you, and then you just like blast people away. Like the special attack animations were at the time like super cool to me.
I love that too. Like you'll be walking and then the game will pause for a second. You're like, what happened? And you hear the and you just like fade into the game. Yeah. They have those huge. They have like the huge intro, like the camera's spinning, and then like the characters show up. Like, oh, they make it as epic as possible. But what I loved about this one though is you had the timed hits. Where like you had to time it like specifically where you'd hit the button, so it make you feel like you're actually putting a little more effort into it.
And they did that in Final Fantasy VIII, where you had to kind of time the gun buster and stuff like that, and you would hit like what is it, R1 or something?
Yeah, it was R1.
Yeah.
And you'd hear like the louder crack and be like whack.
Yeah, yes, you feel the vibration in the.
You're just like, oh, I got it.
Time that.
Yeah, man. So I was all about this.
Look at that basic menu. I mean, you got 4 options. How could you go wrong?
Double slash.
Look at that. Yeah. You got attack. You got defend. You can use an item, and you could run away. I mean, do you need more options in a game?
That's all you need, man. I would say it was this and like the original Pokemon games are like kind of those two that like really brought me to the JRPG genre.
Yeah,
it's just those old grindy games where you have the time to just like, farm and like really just get into it.
Absolutely. I think if I could add another one to that Final Fantasy list would be my time I spent on the Game Boy playing Pokemon Yellow.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Yellow is the hardest out of Gen 1.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's one of those ones where it's like, I remember in the very beginning of the game, it's so difficult because you're playing with Pikachu and
Brock.
And you're fighting Brock, and so you're just like, how am I beating Onix?
Yes. Lightning versus Rock.
This is ridiculous. And so you
just
try
tackle
to beat him with like
tackle.
Yeah, with your tackle, or you have like maybe like a Pidgeot or something like that potentially.
Here's the strategy. Here's the strategy. You level up Pikachu to like 13 or 14 when you learn Quick Attack, and then you go and then you have like your extra Pokemon, but your main is Pikachu. So you go up against him, tail whip, tail whip, tail whip, tackle, 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 and then Onix comes out, tail whip, tail whip, tail whip, because it lowers the defense, and then you just tackle, tackle, finish him off.
I would go into the forest and get a Caterpie and evolve it into Butterfree.
Metapod. Now you gotta go Metapod first, dude.
Yeah, Metapod, but you go and then you get to, because at level 10 it turns into Butterfree, and then you can just use Sleep Powder or something. That's what I did, or like Leech Life or like something. It was like pretty helpful.
Dude, low-key, like when I was playing Gen 1 Pokemon, nothing pissed me off more than when someone put me to sleep.
It still pisses me off.
I would have the most badass Pokemon like ready to go, and then they're like sleep, and I'm just like, oh. And then every time you're trying to wake up, the RNG keeps rolling, but it's not hitting to wake you up.
Yeah.
Like,
the one that always got me with the frustration was the confused, and you hit yourself.
Yeah.
You do the thing, and you're just like, and you're boom, and you see yourself shake, and you're just like, how did I hit myself?
And sometimes you hit yourself for like a fuck ton of health. Like,
like I critted myself.
Yeah. Good job, Psyduck.
Yeah, way to go, dumbass.
Oh man. All right, cool guys. I mean, we got Final Fantasy 8, 7. I just like the whole Final Fantasy series. Then we got Super Mario RPG, which is like pretty surprising one, but like very, very like cool that, yeah, great pick. And then yeah, my favorite, Legends of Dragoon, which I hope they do a remake for. That'd be a really sick game to play. And yeah.
You should also try Xenogears, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah, any of the
Xenogears,
anything.
Are they part of the main? Are they part of the same universe? Xenoblade or Xenochronicles?
No, you can play them all independently of each other.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't. I think some of them may potentially have like similar like worlds, but the characters and stuff like that, you're not gonna see like the same. Let's just say there's a John Richter. You're not gonna see a John Richter in all of them. Or
but it's all during like that golden age when they were coming out.
Yeah, Xenogears was a great one for PlayStation. There's another one too that was. I want to say it's Alundra.
Oh yeah, Alundra.
Yeah, Alundra was another great RPG for the PlayStation. Very much the same kind of style of like Legend of Dragoon, Final Fantasy. So if you haven't played any of those, and I think that one you can play on modern systems on the classic, the PlayStation Classic. So
cool, awesome guys. So I want to try to get, if people are curious about getting into these types of games, Joe, are there any games that you would recommend for someone who's JRPG curious?
Yeah, if you are not familiar with JRPGs, but you want to whet your appetite a little bit, a perfect one that I would suggest is Ni no Kuni. The very first one, I think Wrath of the White Witch or something like that. Let me see. Yeah, Wrath of the White Witch. You can get it very cheap. You can get a physical version if you want. You can get it on PlayStation, Nintendo, your Xbox.
It's on Game Pass too.
So there you go. So it's something that you can easily get. It's got, if you're a Studio Ghibli fan or a Hayao Miyazaki fan, all of the animated cutscenes are all done by Studio Ghibli. The score is done by Joe. I'm just gonna butcher his last name, Hishiashi or something like that. He's done all of the notable Studio Ghibli movies like Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke, you name it. I mean, like if you're just looking at the aesthetic right here, that immediately is just jumping out to you, looking like
that's very Studio Ghibli.
Very Studio Ghibli-esque. So all of the animated cutscenes are done by Studio Ghibli, and it's got that flair that comes with like when you're watching a movie. And at the very end of the game, I felt like I watched a really good Studio Ghibli movie. So it's definitely something that I would recommend to a new player. It does hold your hand a little bit, but what I would say is it doesn't hold your hand in a bad way. It holds your hand in the sense that you're not going to waste any time. If you're wanting to know where the next quest is, you press a button and it'll show you like a golden road to like your next destination. And you're not going to sit around wandering around some area being like, like what was that guy that was gonna, like, I think he was the one that told me like where I'm supposed to go next, or like gave me this next hint. You're not gonna have that feeling of wandering around. You're gonna know what to do, but it doesn't feel like it's so linear, because you do have options of stuff that's you don't, it's an optional quest. You don't have to go down this road. You don't potentially have to do this and this and this and this before you do this. You can jump ahead. You can do just as much grinding as you like, that's something that I like in a game. I don't like games where you have to feel like, oh god, I got to sit here and grind till I'm level 20, or else I'm just gonna get pwned and pwned and pwned.
Pokemon.
yeah, exactly. There are definitely bosses where you might struggle the very first time, but in a good way, where it's not like you feel like you're just walking through the park. And like I said, it's holding your hand, but it's not playing the game for you.
It's crazy.
Righteous.
Like,
yep, highly recommend it. The sequel, I didn't like as much. It still comes recommended though.
I'm playing this video. It's like 27 minutes long. I don't think there's any combat in it.
Like I said, this is the first thing that you see as you watch the movie, and I mean, a spoiler alert: you get absolutely gut wrenched within the beginning of the game here. So if you have not played the game, maybe potentially don't watch that little part right there.
Okay, I will play it.
But it really does bring you into that world. It makes you care about the characters. I mean, you're playing as like a 9-year-old boy here, and so like maybe the appeal for a lot of people it's not there, but you do genuinely care about Ollie, and you do genuinely like want to get better in the game and see all the characters around him that he's just doing everything he can to help. You want to be like, oh, you know what? I think I am going to do that extra little quest. Because it's going to be worth it for you in the end. You're going to get some sort of like cool little piece of gear or whatever it is. And you do get a sense of like fulfillment, like as if you were watching a movie and you're watching this character grow and develop. It gives you all the feels. It's just a great game.
I agree.
That's a great indicator of a great JRPG is that they give you the feels. Like they make you feel something. That's what I really love about JRPGs is because like you really fall in love with these characters and you fall in love with like the community that like they're in, the world that they're in, and you actually care. Like you're motivated by just helping people out, which is like which is a huge thing.
Flexing that good muscle.
That's right, baby. That karma muscle.
Yep.
Okay, cool, man. Hey, Chris. So, what about you? Any JRPGs you would recommend for someone just trying to dip their toes into JRPGs?
Okay, anything on Switch Online? I'm more of the classics. Definitely Paper Mario, of course. One that really sat well with me was Octopath Traveler.
Oh yeah, baby.
So there's 10 different stories and 10 different characters that you can play as that. So there's so much meat in it, and it's very it's a new game with the old school feel.
Yeah, it's got that 2.5D like diorama kind of feel,
Yeah, and it hits good, man. It's really good. Yeah, man. I when I first played it, I played as the thief, which was really fun.
Nice. I did the dancer as my first.
Yeah, the dancer.
Yeah, bro. She does. If you get towards the end of the game, it gives. She does this like kind of thing that you can end up like kind of poning yourself. It's like a roll of a dice, whether like you do like a one-shot kill or like something bad happens to you. I love that like kind of.
Yeah.
There she is right
but
there.
As you can see, man, it slaps, dude. There's so much you can get into. I haven't played the sequel yet. The sequel's out, so I'm waiting to do that one.
I pre-ordered it and got the steel case version and everything from Best Buy, which I highly recommend. If you want to pre-order anything, pre-order from Best Buy. They do a really good deal of like giving you like just nice little extra stuff like steel cases, which are a nice little extra little bit of flair, especially if you like getting physical stuff.
And then 10, 15 years down the line when it's actually worth something, you have it.
Yeah, actually, let me grab it real quick. It's close enough. I'll pull it up.
Best Buy, give me free stuff.
Best Buy, let's go. Geek Squad. Geek Squad.
Ask everybody for free stuff.
Give me free stuff. Give me free surround sound. Yeah, that thing's sexy.
Dude, look at the art on that. I mean, it's just amazing. Whoever did the concept art for that is just absolutely just home run. And then just the beautiful like.
Yeah, man, that thing is sweet.
And then
I will say,
shows all the characters on the inside.
Square Enix, I think a lot of JRPGs, they really take care of their fans.
Yeah, dude, Square Enix is like the GOAT, man.
Oh, by far the best of the best, and it's not even close.
Yeah, they're the GOATs, man.
Yeah, everybody else is looking up to them. See what they do next.
Okay.
Yeah, they hit the home run more oftentimes than not, and they've filled in such a really nice like library of all sorts of different genres of RPGs, strategy, tactical, turn-based, action, you name it. They
Oh
are
yeah.
the best at it.
Yep.
Love
I concur.
Love it. So my pick, if you're just wanting to get into JRPGs, it's pretty mainstream. You might have heard of it. It is, drum roll please. Just kidding. It is. Can you guys guess first? Can you guys guess?
Persona.
I was gonna say Persona. Persona.
Oh man, I really wanted to pick that, but I feel like even Persona, even though it's super accessible, I still feel like some people might be turned off by it for some.
Oh no, I know it.
Mm.
Knights of the Old Republic.
That's not a JRPG, man.
Yeah, but it's kind of just with Star Wars.
I mean, that's probably my favorite game of all time.
Probably that's probably the perfect example of a Western RPG that now influenced JRPGs, and now they use stuff from Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh yeah,
because it was so good.
You can tell there's you can
I mean,
totally
it is
tell.
Good. Not even was.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But my pick for new JRPG gamers is Final Fantasy VII Remake. Let's go.
The best remake of all time.
So I actually haven't played this one.
Oh wow. Man,
you definitely have something to look forward to, my friend.
Do you have a PlayStation 4?
Is it action? Is it like is it the remake? Is it turn based or is it to the the tactics?
It's not turn based.
It's the action or like the
yeah. It what it uses is the ATB, but it's like
I see.
How do I want to explain it? It kind of what it does is it makes combat seem like it's moving in slow motion and then in real time as well. So you're able to it has that slight little bit of turn based because you're able to switch characters and you're able to kind of like you're able to think about stuff. It's not just like everything's happening at once and you better be on it on doing all this stuff. Like you have time to think.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you can slow time.
Right so it slows down time to where okay, cool.
You can queue up attacks.
I'm hitting. And then your character is not just idly just sitting there doing nothing in the background. So it's like during this time is when you're strategizing what you should be doing next, what the weaknesses are between the enemies, what party members you have available, and the things that they have to try to strategize what you should be doing next.
But I actually like the thing where they're standing there just going.
Exactly. Yeah, and but you can see time is passing.
Yeah, no, this is really cool. I'll definitely give it a shot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and sorry, go ahead, Joe.
Oh yeah, no, I was gonna let you finish, but I just to sneak in here real quick. This is the reason why I started playing video games again in my little what I'm calling the second coming of my video game age. During the pandemic, I was able to buy a PS4 Pro, and this was the game I bought along with it. And I was like, I'm gonna sit here, and I have the time to do this because we all had time to do a lot of things. And this was one of the things I chose to do with my time. And this got me back into video games in another way. Ryan, you chose an amazing game here. It's just it hits so well, man.
Wow.
Yeah, man. It's just so good. And if you're curious about JRPGs and you turn this on, you're not gonna turn it off until you beat the game.
Yeah.
It's just everything is so beautiful. Even on the PlayStation 4 Pro, it's so
wow,
cool.
Yeah. That looks really good, man.
And the story is still so good. Even though you only get the first quarter of the full game, right? It's
this where I don't want to spoil anything for anyone who hasn't played it, but you essentially in the timeline of the real game, the original game, you're not even out of the first disc in this one.
Oh wow. So are they making more then to close it up?
Oh yeah, there's. I mean, it's crazy because to think that they'd be able to wrap it up in even 3. I want to say that it would take like
Wow.
5.
So
If
then I
not
can
more.
imagine they'll definitely probably make all of them, and then at the end of it all, they're gonna sell a collector's edition
Oh yeah, baby.
with
You know
all
that they're
that
gonna do
sexy
the
artwork on
worst.
the side. Oh,
Oh yeah.
that's the one you want.
Yeah.
It's they've already stated that the storyline for this is canon. It's essentially its own like kind of universe happening alongside the other universes that are all kind of happening along the side of each
Oh,
other.
okay.
So they're not
The
conflicting with each
multiverse.
other. It's a multiverse of like they're all happening at the same time, separate of each other.
Yeah.
So you can kind of think of the story as its own kind of living entity of itself. Um, but if you did want to kind of like bring like connections to the original game, yeah, you haven't even got out of the first disc. You're still on what's the meaty? You're still on the main area
Yeah.
of
Oh damn, it's gonna kill me. Midgar.
Midgar. Yes, yeah, you're still on Midgar. So you haven't left Midgar. You're still there.
Okay.
Look, yeah.
I need to step away for 1 second.
Sure, your thing, man.
So, man, I would, man, if you have not played Final Fantasy VII Remake, highly recommend it. Uh, it's just one of those games where you just want to go through and do like every stupid little thing. Like, what was the game that there was like a little, it was kind of like a little strategy game like within the game where you got to play people like in Midgar. You try to find them like throughout the game. You would go over and like this is a level 2 player over here.
Mm-hmm.
um it was based on a part that's later in the original game, where you're on this kind of like this giant hill, and you're fighting these soldiers that are coming up the hill, and you're kind of like protecting this egg. Um, they found such an amazing way to incorporate that as an Easter egg into the game as its own little mini game. That mini game is so good that it's worth if they decided to make its own game based on just that.
It's called
Uh,
Strike, right?
yeah, I think so.
Strike. Strike of
Chris,
the
do you
Soul.
remember you played the original Final Fantasy VII all the way through, right?
Oh yeah.
Uh, so what was the little mini game that they had? It was a little turn-based. I'm sorry, it was a little strategy mini game where you're kind of protecting this egg on top of the hill.
Oh, damn it.
Well, anyways, they
Love
took
that.
that and they brought that into the remake and made its own game based on that, and it is so good and it's so addicting. Let me tell you, you probably play hours just playing that little mini game. And
Oh man.
you go around playing other people in Midgar that are also playing that game. It's like essentially like people are sitting down like they have chess tables, and like you would go over and you kind of challenge them. Um, and it's man, it's like that little touch of like care that they put into that remake. It's the songs that you hear while you're walking in the background. Like all of a
Oh my
sudden
god.
you'll be walking through an alley and
So
you'll
good.
hear like a rendition of the Chocobo song that's like in hip hop version, and you're just like, what the hell is
Now I
this? This
have
is
to play.
amazing.
Now I have
This
to play
is
it.
absolutely amazing,
Oh
dude.
yeah. Definitely.
Okay. Now I have to play it.
So yeah, Final Fantasy VII Remake. I think it's a great game to start with if you're getting into JRPGs.
Yeah, you don't have to
Yeah,
play the original.
no, which is great. Cool. And so kind of brings us to our like last round of um advice here. It's if like you're already like a JRPG like seasoned veteran, uh Joe, what kind of like hidden gems do you think they're out there that not many people know about?
Hidden gems. Let's see. I was gonna say Octopath Traveler, but since Chris brought up Octopath Traveler earlier, I'm gonna say
Do you
one
think that's
that's
a gem though? I feel like that's pretty
no, I
mainstream.
think a lot. I think if you're an RPG fan, you might be aware of it, but I think there's still a lot of people like where I talk to them and I'm like, hey, have you like I've been playing like Octopath and it's amazing. Like, what do you think about it? Oh, dude, like like I heard about it or I saw like a trailer for it at some point and I thought it was really cool, but I haven't played it or anything. So I think if that many people haven't played it, and I still consider it a hidden gem. Um, but I'll say Live Alive.
Yes.
Live Alive is a game that was only available on the very first Nintendo. It just recently got translated and ported to the Switch, and then now is available for PlayStation. So
and it's so good.
It holds up so well, and
It's so good.
they gave it the full Octopath treatment with the 2.5D like diorama remake. What's another one that just recently came out as well? Ogre Battle.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, that's another one that just recently got ported to all systems. That's a strategy RPG, but it has the same 2.5D kind of like setup. So if you have not played Live Alive, comes very highly recommended. It's not very long, from what I remember, because I still haven't finished it, but I played the original one all the way through, and I remember you can kind of play through most of the characters fairly quickly, and they're just all so good. I mean the um, the live voice actors that they got to do all this stuff do such an amazing job. The score is amazing.
Wait, it's voiced? I thought it was all text.
No, it's got some voices.
Yeah, it's got some voice for these ones.
Oh.
In addition to like Octopath and stuff like that, any of the voices that they get to do any of this stuff, they just do such an amazing job. You really cannot go wrong with any of these. But yeah, Live Alive is great. I think it's only like $40. Probably will go down in price after a little bit, but I mean, at $40, it's still a steal because you're going to be able to get a lot of really good hours of gameplay in here.
If you're going to buy it, I recommend buying the physical copy of it because they actually don't have too many of them.
Yeah, so I have a physical copy of the Switch version, so I'll probably end up getting another copy of the PlayStation version here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Nice. Chris, how about you? Any gems that you
Okay, so I'm gonna go back a little bit. A hidden gem that I love is on the Nintendo DS. It's called Dragon Ball Z Attack of the Saiyans.
Oh, nice.
It is a turn-based RPG, of course, but you get the whole Dragon Ball saga up until the end of the Saiyan saga. But you're using all the characters up until that point. So like you have a team of like Goku, Krillin, Tien, Yamcha, and I think even Chaozu. It is like just if fast forward to like some of the battle. The battling is awesome, dude. It is so fun.
Master Roshi.
Like, yeah, here you go. So like, it's one of those things, but it has those those action buttons where you actually have to time your button press in order to do some like really cool shit. It's so fun, dude.
Some good good animation there in the
for the DS. But it's like, these characters throughout the series, they don't get too much love, but in this game they get a lot of love and they kick ass, dude.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, I loved it.
The DS was was such a great system.
Yeah.
That's another one that has a lot of really, really good games. Just man, Nintendo just hit the ball out of the park with that one.
Yeah. They're very good in the portable space for sure. Ever since the Game Boy, dude.
Yeah, they've pretty much nailed that market.
Yeah. Game Boy Pocket, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and then the SP, which was like god tier.
So yeah, I played Minish Cap on the SP in class.
Nice.
No one, I'm pretty sure no teacher knew what I was doing, and I just tiny little like SP, like, and I hit it like right in the little spot where like there was that space in the desk,
Yeah.
Luckily, that one was backlit.
Yep.
So I was able to play Minish Cap.
The backlight is what like threw it into the god tier, dude. Is because all the other times you needed either sun or you needed light.
Oh yeah,
But when you had the backlight,
even the advanced, you needed a backlight. Yeah. So just not needing a backlight was just that's next level gaming, and the convenience is just can't ask for more.
Did you ever have one of those stupid little worm lights that you had to plug into like the and it would just drain your batteries within like an hour?
Well, I had like the little like thing that you could like click into the battery area that filled with like AA batteries.
Yeah, I remember that.
I had that for the Pocket. So I mean, my thing would last maybe like 4 or 5 hours at a time.
And then you need new batteries.
And then I need new batteries. So my mom wasn't super stoked about that until she bought me rechargeable batteries. Yeah, I was definitely going through quite a bit of batteries.
Nice.
I still do with my Xbox controllers.
That's wild that they needed that.
Yeah.
It's because they want you to buy their separate chargers, you know? I'm holding out. I'm not going to do it.
Peripherals.
I'll just keep going to Costco and buying like the thing of batteries.
Nice. Okay, cool. My next my gem is a game that I mentioned before earlier in this podcast. It's called Yakuza Like a Dragon. And I still feel like a lot of people haven't played this game yet.
Yeah, and Yakuza is a hidden gem for sure.
Yeah, the whole series is on Game Pass. You can play them all.
Oh yeah,
it's so good.
This one is the only one in the series that is turn based. And even though I know like the combat was like still pretty fun in the other games, the turn-based system in this game is so addicting. I thought it was like so fun and really innovative in a lot of ways because just the ridiculousness of it all. Like you're literally hitting people with like massagers and stuff like that. It's just ridiculous. But the thing that really gets me about this game is like the characters and the story is just so like wholesome, and you want this guy named Ichiban Kasuga. Like he's just like this like really like sweet guy that like will do anything for his friends, but he gets shit on like a lot by like everyone. And you just like want him to succeed so much, and he's so positive about everything, and his story is like tragic, like super tragic. And then the characters in the game are super fun, dude. Like get attached to everyone in this game.
It's so Japanese.
It's just really funny.
I know.
Oh yeah,
the tiger.
I mean, if you didn't know anything about this, you're just like, man, this game couldn't be any more Japanese.
Oh yeah.
It gives me that same hint of like when you see the trailers for Dead Rising, it's just so over the top that you just can't help but want to try it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good, and I feel like not too many people have played this particular game. And I wish I can talk to people who like can have like the same experiences I have, because man, it gets really wild. There's a part in the game where you like control you're like a CEO, and you have like you have to like be in charge of like a bunch of different like businesses, and you're buying buildings and you're upgrading those buildings, and you're like hiring and firing like staff and stuff like that, and you're trying to make your profits grow. And it made me want to be a business owner, like legit. It was so satisfying watching your businesses grow until you're like the top, because I think the company is like a rice cracker company.
Yeah.
And then you're trying to sell, like at first you start in this like little shop selling like these little like rice crackers, and then you start growing, and then you own multiple buildings, and you go into like different franchises, and depending on like the trends, like like gaming is like trending right now, so you like buy like a gaming company and try to like make that like profitable, and then you have to like make these executive decisions, and then you eventually become like the biggest rice cracker company in Japan, and it's like awesome. It's so much fun.
Damn.
I was addicted to just that one part of the game. That's how much I.
We know your favorite thing was to fire people, Ryan.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, it was
Ryan's
a great power
at home,
trip.
Get the fuck out.
I'm like, no, I'm just like, hey, dude, like, you know what? Your profits were not good this quarter. I'm gonna have to let you go. But some people you have to hire, and they're like really fucking expensive, and like you have to like weigh the pros and cons and stuff like that. Like really made you think like what's gonna be good for your business.
You get what you pay for.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So
it is.
Yeah, Yakuza Like a Dragon is like very near and dear to my heart, and I hope people check it out.
So, so let me ask you this about that game then. How many years can you go without playing it before you have to do it one more time?
I don't really. It's hard for me to like replay games.
You don't revisit?
Not a lot. Even the games I really love, like I don't really go back. Like sometimes I'll like beat it, right? I'll like beat the game and then I'll like keep playing it because there's like things I haven't done.
Right.
But like very rarely will I like take a break from a game and like come back to it unless there's some kind of live service element to it. I just don't. I don't know why, because I just feel like I'm overwhelmed.
Opposite.
I'm overwhelmed by like so many games, and like I suffer hard from video game ADD. Let me know if you're a listener and you also suffer
finding
from this.
The right game to play.
Like, and if it's a game that I really like, I'll actually stop playing it just to save it and like just wait. And like I have so many games that I haven't finished yet because I like it so much, and I just won't finish it because like I don't want it to end.
Hey man, you got to get on that. That's unhealthy.
It is.
Finish your list, Ryan. Finish your list.
That backlog.
Yeah, you'll go crazy.
And the problem is so many like games keep coming out every day, and like my ADD is just killing my wallet, and it's bad. It's bad.
But who needs money, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't need that, man. Shit's bad for you.
Money is only good for video games, so
right?
I don't know what else people are using their money on.
You know,
no.
The bare necessities, dude.
I'll just survive on. I'll get some adult diapers and just play video games the rest of my life.
Did you play the original Yakuzas on PlayStation, Ryan?
No, I haven't played. This is my only Yakuza game.
Yes, I played the first two on PlayStation 2.
Yeah, I might go back and play them. There's the new one called Yakuza, or I don't even think it's called Yakuza. It's just called Like a Dragon Ishin, and it's like the same kind of style as Yakuza Like a Dragon, but it's like set in feudal Japan. So you're like a samurai.
Okay.
And it's the same kind of stuff, made by the same people and everything. Oh hi. And yeah, so I haven't played any of the Yakuza games. So that's my only one, and now I feel like I am really liking that franchise now because of the characters and stuff.
Yeah, it's great to see that they're still doing stuff like that. They were able to kind of bring that from, I want to say the dead, because I mean it really didn't have a life on the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4. It wasn't until towards the end of its life that you started seeing Yakuza games kind of popping up again.
It was us. We demanded it back.
Exactly. And it's our generation. We're just like, bring us the Yakuza.
Yeah.
All the same. We want all the same.
Like, we love new games, but there are times where you want to check out and you want to play some good old stuff.
Yeah, exactly. There's just sometimes where you just want to do like dumb things, and that game gives you a lot of like options for just doing just like stuff that games don't offer.
Because we're the first real generation that actually got hooked on games and became gamers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
what I love about the Yakuza franchise is how like it portrays Japanese culture. I think it's just so interesting.
Yeah, it's very fun.
The humor, the humor is like dressing up like as babies and like
they're very self-aware.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah, it has to be that way there though, because they work so hard.
Yeah, they do.
They
have another level of like hard work.
Yeah, they work so hard.
That's what I love about Like a Dragon in particular, is because you're just walking around Yokohama, and you're just like checking out all the shops and stuff like that, and it's like you're like there, and you're like a tourist and experiencing the culture, and it's so deep. I just love it so much. I've never been to Japan before, and like I
recommend.
Really wanna.
The
I
best.
know Joe's going there, right?
Yeah,
Right,
I've
Joe?
got tickets to go in second weekend of week of October for 2 weeks.
Congratulations. So
Yes,
if you go to Yokohama, I recommend you go to the Cup of Noodles Museum.
I am definitely going to go to the Cup of Noodles Museum.
It's so cool, dude.
Gonna go to all of the Pokemon centers that I can go to and
Yes.
get any kind of rare, stupid crap that I, whatever they sell, and I'm just gonna do as many Japanese things as I can.
Yeah.
And just
go to Akihabara and go into a Sega arcade, man. You literally see like all the Street Fighter machines lined up, and dudes are on there with their cigarettes, and they're all like just duking it out.
Oh yeah, I'm totally fine at going over there and just absolutely getting wrecked at like King of Fighters or on like an original Big Red Neo Geo machine. I want to play on an Astro City machine. I want to play Dance Dance Revolution, play Butterfly, and just get like wrecked by some local. Yeah, it'll be great.
Cool, man. Well, hope you have fun over there and drink a lot of interesting teas.
Sake.
If you're into that sake. Oh yeah, let's try the sake. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Bring
me back some.
It's go to Koko Ichibanya.
I'll add it to the list.
It's a curry restaurant. Fire.
Is it a soap? Go to a soap land.
Ooh.
Go to where?
A soap land.
Soap land.
I'm gonna go to the Maid Cafe.
They don't let foreigners in. I've tried.
Oh well, it's okay because I'll get it.
Oh damn.
They hold their arms up like this and they go, no gaijin, no gaijin.
Oh, son of a bitch.
I know. I've tried to go in. I tried to go into 10 different ones, and every single time, no gaijin. You are not Japanese. You can't come in.
That's crazy.
Little do they know.
I got a little Japanese.
Hey, if you speak kanji, I'm sure they'll let you in.
Yeah, I'll work on it. I got some time.
Cool. All right, guys. I think that pretty much is all the time we have for us today. Joe, thank you so much for being on the show, dude. It was great having you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Pleasure, man. Thank you.
Yeah. I hope you join us again sometime because that was great. Chris, that was another excellent show. One for the books. Yeah, thank you so much. All right, and that's a wrap, folks. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Spell Tap Gaming. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more gaming content. Leave us a review on Spotify, and if you have any comments or suggestions, we'd love to hear from you. Stay safe, keep gaming, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks, guys.
Peace.